right. What's up, guys? Yes, thank you, Mikey T. Yeah, definitely not gonna let it get me down. I took my moments yesterday as well, and just reframe my mind. It's a normal red day. It's not anything astronomical. If I'm having $600, $800 green days, a $500 red day, that's not too bad. On the other hand, if it's like a 2,000 red day, then of course, then that's obviously I'm making massive mistakes, but I'm still in a normal standard deviation. Let me post my stream here in the Discord. Morning. What's up? All right, so we have some familiar names here on the scanner. So we have Sun W. Sun W is a leaning gapper. It is a penny stock. I prefer not to trade pennies. This was a massive mover here. I remember trading this in 2021. Mind you, I was only 2 months into trading. I started live trading in October 2020. This thing started making a massive, like this thing was fucking massive. This move, I remember this move. 2 months into my journey, this thing fucking takes off from like $3 to like 30. My God, this thing was this was a crazy day. Absolutely crazy. Of course, I probably didn't make any money on it because I was just opening my account. Well, this account at least. So I probably was about break even or something like that, maybe red. Who knows? But yeah, this made a huge move. Huge move. Now we faded real hard. We haven't had any reverse splits yet, but getting some volume here off the low. You might see, some continuation here. I like that, we sold off here. Now we're curling back up. So if we can get back over this area, let's see if we can get back over 20. So this would be that previous support acting as resistance. So if we can get back over 20, then we're looking now to break that previous resistance that it failed to break. And this time it should have some more juice. So, maybe we see break of 18, break of 20, and then maybe a move up to 25, and then maybe here up to next resistance here at 28.5. And then if it decides to go more, you're looking at 32, and you're looking at 37, 38, and then it's 59 or 60. So here's my levels for this one. I would trade it. If this has good volume, I would trade it up until this first target of 25. If you break over 25, then you know, see if we're going to get continuation. Sometimes we like break out of this, you know, the upper resistance here and then just fail. So I definitely want to see strength. But this is a penny stock, and I prefer to trade something over $1 rather than anything under $1. Okay, next stock. I'll put this on the side chart. Sun W. Doesn't have any news on it though. Yeah, it looks like top has the attention. So the next stock here is going to be top, 84%. Let's see here. It's got to have news on it, right? I don't see any news on it. Top made a nice move here from 3 to 6. So it's up 83%. Consolidating over VWAP, I like that. Let's check out the float. Dilution tracker. We've traded this before. Top is very familiar. We have traded this before. Float, 5 million shares. It looks like there is a large insider ownership here. Let's see. Yeah, there's a high insider ownership because the shares outstanding is 35 million shares. The float is 5 million. So that means that there's 30 million shares held by insiders. Okay, so it looks like they have a registered, let's see here. Notice of effectiveness, foreign issuers. This is a Chinese stock. TCBB. Let's check out TCBB. Yeah. Does that have news on it? You don't see any news on TCBP. Volume's a little light. Probably not the one today for me. Top, let's take a look at the daily chart. So we topped out at 673, so we're up in this area. So very nice bounce off the lows. 673. $570. So 570 acts as support. And that corresponds right in here. So let's watch this. Watch this. So let's take a look. This is an example of why the daily chart is so important, and that is it does correspond with the intraday chart. So on the daily chart, look, we have potential resistance right here at the top of these candles that say it's 570. All right, 570, looks good. Let's jump over to the daily chart or the intraday chart. Look at that. Look at that, near perfect. This is why looking at that daily chart is important, because you could have avoided buying high in this area and then potentially catching that breakout. You could have bought the support, former resistance, now support. Isn't this just amazing? This is this is game changer. And then look, we break down below support. We come up and test it. We reject again. So you can be trading around this level. Here we come up and test again. We reject, and then we finally rip up, and now we're kind of holding over this level. So You know, the daily chart is so important, and it's very underrated. A lot of beginner traders do not look at the daily chart. I didn't look at the daily chart for a good 2 years. I didn't even know how to analyze a daily chart. But yeah, knowing it is so important because, you know, looking at that level, you know, you could trade around it, you can avoid risk, and you can get in on low risk entries as well. And it can really improve your trading game. It can really improve it. Next potential resistance probably going to be up here, 756. I don't think we're going up this high, but just in case. I would like to see at least a test of the highs on top. You also have eye lag popping up. We've traded this many times. I don't like how it's fading. But if we can break over $1, then I'd be back interested. But this one's very volatile. I've gotten caught in this one a lot. Like this day, I think this day I got wrecked. But we do have on the daily chart, okay, so we already curled up. So we already curled up and made that squeeze, that bottom bounce. It's already kind of made its bottom bounce here. So, and this is the chart pattern that we want to look for on SunW. So if we look at SUNW, it's kind of still in this area at like 64 cents on iLag. But if you look at SunW, that's sort of the pattern that you want to look for on this setup. Curl up and then that nice, you know, pop and squeeze, maybe up to 30 cents, 40 cents before rejecting the highs there or dipping down. But again, that's just a pattern, you know, it's never guaranteed. You always got to manage your risk. But that's something that, that's one pattern to be aware of on the larger time frames. Because if it was weak and we had this huge flush, you know, it should continue lower, right? But why are we curling up on high green volume, you know? So that's just that's a sign of a potential reversal. So the target is break it here, 24, 25. So yeah, so you know, if you look at iLag, you want to look at that for like that similar pattern here. You know, SunW is down here. We can see that move. That would be nice. But iLag, probably I'm not going to trade this. I don't like the volume profile. It's a little bit too much off the highs. Kind of just fading. This is a bad pattern, just fading. TCBP again. It does have a micro float though, so let's take a look at it again. TCBP. I don't see any news on it. $2 million, showing 2 million share float. But Thinkorswim's showing 600,000. So maybe it had, I don't know. Damn. We have Door? What the hell is Door? I've never heard this stock. Oh, so this is a buyout. NSTG. I don't really know about that one. CNTA. I think top might be, yeah, look, top is moving here. Oh, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. We might see the break at a high on this. Not financial advice. So I have SunW top. SunW top, and that's pretty much it on the scanner. Maybe TCBP. Maybe DCBP. iLag, don't even like it. But it's on the scanner. It is up 40%. Let's pull up the level 2 here on top. Top is moving. Ugh, it looks good. It looks good. I don't know about FOMOing right here, but maybe we can see a little pullback. Maybe not. Now, are we gonna like do a surge here? We're up 100%. 48,000 share seller at 80s. For those pre-market traders, I hope you guys are getting this. After a rough day yesterday, I'm not going to be trading pre-market because I just don't want to activate any frustrating emotions. Today I need to be cool, calm, and collected. Only be trading in the best possible condition. Up to 7. Nice move here up to 7. Can we see a pullback and then a break of 7? Oh, we're just going to break 7 here. Not bad. On top. See if we can see a pullback maybe to 60, 70, maybe low 70s, high 60s. Okay. Wow, very good continuation here. Let's see if we can push a little higher. This is good. This is good. I like it. I like what we're seeing here. All right, so top. Looks like we broke this resistance point here. Wow. Very strong, man. This is very strong. Let's take a look at the short float. Okay, short interest isn't even that high. Why is this moving? I don't see any fucking news on this. Yeah, this thing's freaking crazy, man. So hopefully we can consolidate here. Hopefully we can consolidate for the open. I don't want it to get too high because when you get into like the 200, 300% pre-market, you do tend to get a lot of selling at the open. So if we can consolidate here, even if it comes a little lower, that's fine. As long as you don't break down. But if we can consolidate in this area, we might see that extra move, that extra leg up to 8. But I want to, make sure that it's not, if it starts to go parabolic here right before the bell, within the next 20 minutes, it's going to be a lot more riskier at the open because there's going to be a lot of profit taking. So you might get the red to green eventually, but you're going to want to be patient. But if we can hold here, we might at the open just rip right up for the red to, or not even a red to green, just like an opening surge. On the 5 minute still looks good. 5 minute, if we can hold this 5 minute EMA here and hold this previous high, then it could be good. If we start to break down, like I said, then you're going to want to be a little bit more patient to wait for the buyers to step back in. It's getting hot in here. Let me turn up this heater. Yeah, very nice. This is good for the open, It's good for the open. Yeah, we don't want to FOMO in. We don't want to FOMO into the highs. We want to keep our risk tight. Looks like we're holding this low here. I could probably remove this here. Remove this. Can move that up to 780. I'll move that up to 780, and then we have potential resistance here. Potential support. Potential support. Potential support. So we could come down a little bit lower. I wouldn't be surprised. But if we can hold this area, this previous high, pre-market high, then it looks good. Then it looks good for another leg. And we all know top. We've traded top before. Top, does have a history of making big moves, but I don't see any news on it too. So not sure what justifies the move. We got about 15, 16 minutes here to the open. It's on W, kind of forming a low here, forming a bottom, which is good. I'm going to put an alert here. If we can get back over 19, break back over this pivot into the highs, you might be able to see that continued move. But you're going to have to take huge share size since it's 25-cent stock or 20-cent stock. You have to take like 20,000 shares, 30,000 shares. Every penny would be what, $300? And to make a penny, tough. To scalp a penny on something like this is tough. If we see some good action today, I'm going to keep the size where it was. I'm not going to size down after yesterday. It'd be stupid to just size down after one day, one bad day. If we can see top hold up and see a nice continuation move, I'm going to keep my size up, maybe even push it harder. So far, it looks like the spreads are okay, between 1 and like 4 cents. The spreads will open up as you start to get higher. As we get to like 8, 9, or 10, or 12. If we start to get in that area around $10 or more, then the spreads usually start to open up. That's where you start to see 5 to 10 cent spreads. But I do pretty okay up until my strategy does really well up until like $10, and then the spreads sometimes get to me. Sometimes I chop myself out on the spread before the move. Happens a lot. With the higher spread stocks, you need to have extra conviction behind your decisions, because you're gonna be down 5 or 10 cents without even giving it a chance to go. So you have to be able to weather that. And then if you're already down 5 or 10 cents on the spread, if you end up being wrong, it's a 15-cent loss or 20-cent loss on those stocks over $10. So you got to be able to weather that. And sometimes it's tough. Because I'm in the mindset of like break even. I want to be out break even if I can. And it's really hard. You can't get out break even on a large spread stock. You're always gonna be taking that loss on the spread every time you get out. If it's like a break even or even a loser. So I'm gonna get there with maneuvering around those larger spread stocks, but it's gonna take a lot of practice. It's gonna take a lot of practice for sure. I think top. I don't know. I would like to see a sell-off at the open, actually, believe it or not, and then maybe a continued move, because sometimes it can get sketchy when it's just an opening surge with no dip. As far as share size, I want to start at 1K. I'm going to start at 1K shares and bump it up. Target if I'm really doing well, I want to bump it up to 2,000, which would be good. I like my big size. I want it to be my A+ setups. My big size when I'm really hitting it hard. I want to be over $10,000 position size. So if I'm at 2,000 shares, that'll put me at $14,000, $15,000 positions. But I need to be in a cushion. I have to have a cushion to be able to do that. Because if I'm trending red, I don't want to be sizing into a trending red on my P&L. That's the equivalent to averaging down into a losing position. If I'm trending up, then I can size up if I'm trending up. And I can size into that, and my profits will just build and build and build. That is the equivalent of adding into a winner, and that's equivalent to having big, big green days. So all right, thank you guys for tuning in here. Hit that thumbs up button for me on the way out. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Day trading is risky. All information is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not a legitimate investment advisor or licensed professional. So all information here is, again, for educational and entertainment purposes. Day trading is risky. Most people do lose money. My results are not typical. Beware of scammers and impersonators. There's some people who are trying to scam viewers and subscribers out of money using fake Triad trading accounts. So be careful with that. But I'm going to wrap it up a couple minutes early just because I want to take, a couple minutes just to, get myself together, get my head straight, and be calm, cool, and collected here for the open. So hopefully you guys do well today, and I'll see you guys on the flip side for the recap. All right.